Hello folks, welcome back to Marvel's Videos, where today we're looking into the origins of an elusive and secretive villain. A master spy, this villain is so secretive that no one knows anything about him, not even his name. Everyone refers to him as the Foreigner. This mysterious villain was first seen facing off against Spider-Man, and since then this James Bond of villains has evaded many international government organizations. So who actually is the Foreigner? What are his connections and how powerful is he? Let's try to answer these questions in this video today. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means an awful lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Tracing the origins of the Foreigner. It is not an accident that we don't know much about the Foreigner. He is a super secretive spy, a master criminal, and an assassin for hire. Undoubtedly, he has gone to amazing heights to hide his true identity. The character was created by Peter David, and his physical features were heavily inspired by the Irish actor Patrick McGoohan. His earliest alias that we know of is Basil. He used his name to freelance as a spy and wooed Silver Sable with his alter ego. Silva Sablinova, as the mercenary, is known through her loved ones, gave her heart and eventually her hand in marriage to this mysterious character, and Foreigner trained her in espionage skills, but unfortunately their marriage did not last long. Silver Sable and Foreigner continued to hunt each other but couldn't bring themselves to kill one another as they were pretty much still in love. Talk about toxic relationships. A gamble with chance. The Foreigner also founded the 1400 Club, an organization of assassins which he is also the head of. His ex-wife is not the only one he trained, as Foreigner is also the mentor of Sabretooth. The Foreigner was first mentioned in February of 1986 in the 15th issue of the Web of Spider-Man comic series. We don't see the Foreigner but hear him on a call with his employee Chance. Chance is a criminal for hire with a compulsion for gambling. He likes to wager his fees with his employers, and that is how we find him. Chance calls Foreigner to tell him that he just saw Spider-Man and wagers his fees, which is a whopping $10,000, that he can take down a web crawler within 24 hours. Foreigner, amused by Chance, takes the bet. The next 24 hours we see Chance trying desperately to attack Spider-Man, but Spider-Man, who is preoccupied with hunting down Black Fox, manages to dodge him. But Chance keeps trying until Spider-Man fights back and disables the energy source of his high-tech suit. So it can safely wager that Chance lost that bet and had to pay up to Foreigner. Let's play a game. The Foreigner debuted in the 115th issue of Peter Parker, the spectacular Spider-Man comics, which were published in 1986. Elmo Twig tries to sell a gold notebook that he recently brought to the Foreigner, who offers $500,000 to him if he plays a game. All he has to do is choose the right box out of two identical boxes. The right box has the money Foreigner offered, while the wrong box has a venomous snake. Twig passes on the game and walks out, and Foreigner is disappointed at his cowardice, as he had hidden money under both the boxes. This introduces us to Foreigner's dry sense of humor and his propensity towards whimsy. We don't see Foreigner's entire face in this comic, as he is shrouded by shadows and darkness in most of the scenes, but we do get a peek at the lower half of his face. We get to see his full appearance in the very next issue as he meets with his old mentee, Sabretooth, who had spent an incredible amount of time trying to track him down, even going to the extent of murdering agents from the CIA, FBI, and Interpol. He tells Foreigner that he finally got his address from a drunk he met on the streets. To his surprise, Foreigner reveals that he was actually the wino who gave him the address. Sabretooth requests that he be let into the exclusive 1400 Club, but Foreigner claims that he stands out too much in a crowd and would not be able to carry out the secretive missions of the 1400. Foreigner takes him to his penthouse to show him the golden notebook. As they arrive, he sees that his cronies are all beaten to a pulp by Black Cat, who had robbed him just before his arrival. Intending to impress his old teacher, Sabretooth offers to track her down and get back his stolen goods. He finds Black Cat having a conversation with Spider-Man. Spider-Man jumps in to defend Black Cat, although she repeatedly asks him to stand down as this is her fight. Although he initially attacks Black Cat, he gets more interested in fighting Spider-Man, as he is an ally to his old enemy Iron Fist. Spider-Man webs up Sabretooth's face, which he rips out, causing significant damage to his face, and in complete agony he retreats. Black Cat promises revenge against Spider-Man for not respecting her wishes. Meanwhile, Foreigner watches this on the news and decides to handle it himself. Notable appearances of the Foreigner. Tangled in a lover's spat. The Foreigner's adventure with the Black Cat and Spider-Man continues as he conspires with Black Cat, who is now in a relationship with Spider-Man, to frame Spider-Man for the murder of the masked criminal Blaze. Unknown to Spider-Man, Black Cat is having an affair with the Foreigner. Spider-Man hears Black Cat's phone call with the Foreigner and attacks her, but she successfully escapes. Meanwhile, in the 12th Precinct, Captain Chris Keating assigns Sergeant Francis Torque to arrest Spider-Man. Spider-Man, still unhappy about being the scapegoat for a crime he did not commit, heads to the Foreigner's lair to confront him, where he finds him with Black Cat. The Foreigner and Spider-Man immediately start fighting and Black Cat calls the cops. As this is transpiring, J. Jonah Jameson tries to hire Silver Sable to assassinate Spider-Man, but she declines, and as she is heading out, she sees cops heading towards Foreigner's apartment. Curious, she follows the police officers. As soon as the cops enter his apartment, Black Cat throws an envelope towards them which contains evidence that Chris Keating killed Blaze and clears Spider-Man's name. Foreigner sneaks out as the police officers examine the evidence, and Sable helps him get to his hideout, where he reveals that he killed Chris Keating and has been impersonating him all these days. Hunting the Hobgoblin. He also played a significant role in the 289th issue of The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, where he was hired to take out the Hobgoblin by Jason McIndoll. Foreigner takes him out in minutes, which impresses Jason, but this invites the ire of Kingpin, who invites him to a chess match. Kingpin tells Foreigner about his disappointment as the Hobgoblin's antiques distracted everyone enough for his own criminal enterprise to be carried out without inviting attention. Foreigner defeats him by checkmating his king and tells him it was just business. Kingpin lets Spider-Man know that Foreigner was behind the death of Ned Leeds, who according to Kingpin was the actual Hobgoblin, but his costume and weapons have been handed over to Jack-O-Lantern, and hands him a file full of the information he has on Hobgoblin. Spider-Man heads to the Foreigner's office, but Hobgoblin, who is just a Jack-O-Lantern with new weapons and costume, interrupts him and fights him. He gains the upper hand soon, but Flash Thompson intervenes, catching a bomb he threw and throwing it back at him. The blast injures both him and the Hobgoblin, and Spider-Man saves Thompson's life by giving him CPR. Back at the Kingpin's lair, he is playing chess again with Foreigner as he commends his brilliance and manipulation tactics, and making Spider-Man and Hobgoblin fight each other. He hands him an envelope asking him not to open it until he is alone. The Foreigner opens it on the elevator on his way back and finds out that it is actually a bomb that goes off in 3 seconds. He manages to save himself and applauds Kingpin's attempt, promising him that they will meet again. New investments. His new significant appearance was in the Amazing Spider-Man comics, where he saves his lover and ex-wife, Silver Sable, from Rhino's deadly attack. She was aboard a ship of Otto Octavius, which the Foreigner found out from a distress tracking chip he had planted on her without her knowledge. He makes a deal with a chameleon to get the Infinity Formula to help Sable, as without it, her chances of survival are next to nothing. Next, he is seen helping her through recovery and physical rehabilitation. After Chance, his old employee, opens an exclusive casino that floats in the sky for those with superpowers and criminal records, he decides to spend a day away from Sable. One of the special rooms of this casino is the Sportsbook, a room where CCTV cameras from across the globe are hacked to show superheroes in action, and the patrons can bet on what will happen. They find Spider-Man robbing a bank that is actually a cover-up for a secret criminal organization, and Foreigner bets on it but loses. Foreigner is sure that the reason he lost was because Chance cheated, but he decides to bet again. He wagers that Chance will not be able to steal a web shooter off of Spider-Man. If he does steal one of Spider-Man's web shooter, he will pay off the entire debt in the casino. Before Chance has a chance to agree, pun intended, Foreigner announces it to all the patrons, who egg him on, and Chance is forced to accept. Chance finds our favorite crawler being interviewed in a podcast by J. Jonah Jameson in his new office. By this time, J. Jonah Jameson has undergone a lot of reformation, and after finding out the real persona of Spider-Man, is set on helping him out. He starts a new job as a reporter on a clickbait website, Threats and Menaces. The podcast, which had initially started on friendly terms, had taken an ugly turn, with both Spider-Man and Jameson rehashing old fights. This interview is interrupted by Chance, who launches an attack immediately, and Spider-Man jumps into action mode, but Jameson continues on the interview, asking him questions while the fight is ongoing. Chance goads Spider-Man to punch him, pretending to lose, but Jack-O-Lantern shows up claiming they were sent by Foreigner to lend a hand. They grab the web shooter while Chance wails that he can't give it back. Back at the casino, Foreigner declares Chance the winner, telling him that he is going to cover everyone's debts. Chance isn't happy with it, but he's forced into a partnership with Foreigner. History of the Hobgoblin. After a few days, Sable, now fully recovered, confronts Foreigner about his investments in the casino, which were made from Simcarian funds. Foreigner assures her that they will get back more when they invested. Meanwhile, Peter Parker meets his journalist friend Betty Bryant, a journalist at the Daily Bugle who is pregnant with a child of Ned Leeds. She brings Ned to Spider-Man's apartment the next day and he explains that he wasn't the Hobgoblin and had been brainwashed by the real Hobgoblin into thinking so. The Goblin Serum had saved him when the Foreigner had sent his men to kill him. Ned and Betty also tell him about a misinformation campaign they had stumbled upon, which was being led by the Foreigner. Their investigation revealed that he was working with a student of Empire State University who had invented a probability machine called the Clairvoyant. They ask Peter for help, but Peter, who has realized that the student is his friend Jamie Tolentino, rushes out of the apartment to warn him about Foreigner. But Tolentino is in troubles of his own. Tolentino had been using the Clairvoyant to gamble in Chance's casino. As soon as Chance finds out about that, he demands that Tolentino pay up. When Tolentino reveals that he's broke, Chance offers another way to make it up by making him a clairvoyant so that the house always wins. And Tolentino works for him. Tolentino agrees. Chance sends him out on a mission with Slide to steal the catalyst from Dr. Connors. Spider-Man heads to Dr. Connors' lab to find Jamie trying to steal the catalyst. As soon as they find out that her mission is discovered, Foreigner and Chance head in with jack-o'-lanterns to provide backup. Spider-Man holds back this group of super criminals and asks Jamie to escape, but Jamie blasts him with the help of the catalyst, causing him to lose his consciousness, impressing both Chance and Foreigner. As soon as he wakes up, Spider-Man heads to his apartment, letting Betty and Ned know everything he knows about the Foreigner, and Ned offers to help. Back at his casino palace, Foreigner and Chance think of testing out the Clairvoyant, but their plan is spoiled by the jack-o'-lanterns, who steal it and reveal that they and nearly half of the casino workers are double agents for the Finisher. Just outside the casino, Spider-Man arrives with Ned, and it is revealed that the jack-o'-lanterns are actually chameleon agents. Foreigner and Chance employ Slide to rescue Jamie, promising to double his pay, and begin fighting the chameleons, aided by the real jack-o'-lantern. It's a complete mayhem as Spider-Man saves Jamie and Chance attempts to save the Clairvoyant, while the chameleons remove power cells from the casino, which keeps it afloat. Ned refuses to help out as he wants the casino to crash and kill Foreigner. Full of rage for everything Foreigner has done to him, Ned attacks Foreigner with full intent to murder him, but Spider-Man intervenes, allowing Foreigner to escape. The Foreigner quietly plans revenge against them both. He gets a chance at revenge when Kindred hires him to take down Spider-Man. Kindred, a group made of the alleged twins of Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn, hires a whole slew of villains along with Foreigner to attack Spider-Man. Other superheroes rush to the aid of the outnumbered Spider-Man, and it soon becomes an all-out war between superheroes and villains. Foreigner doesn't particularly stand out in this sinister war as it is titled, but we can be sure that he escaped unscathed as he has made appearances in the later comics. The incredible abilities and powers of the Foreigner. Although we have just outlined some of his adventures, do not forget that this super spy is the reason why Sabretooth is so powerful. Heading a League of Assassins is no cakewalk either. It does not take a rocket scientist to figure out that a man who can do all that has to be amazingly skilled. He is trained in hand-to-hand combat, as we have seen him fight not just Spider-Man, but also many superheroes. He's not just the leader of the 1400, but also heads the Wild Pack, a team of super mercenaries that include Taskmaster, Black Ant, and Slide. You'll also be aware of his superpower if you're a comic nerd. He has a special ability to induce a 10-second hypnotic trance to whoever he is fighting. Using this ability, he can fool his opponents into thinking that he has super strength or incredible speed. By these intimidation tactics, he is able to defeat even the strongest fighters, and he also knows several martial arts and can wield any weapon, from the simple crossbow to the complicated machine gun. Foreigner's knowledge is also unmatched when it comes to explosives, firearms, and espionage techniques. As a master of disguise, he can imitate anybody. A testament to his skill was his imitation of President Ronald Reagan. Marvel's verdict. This was the story of the Foreigner, a man who has undoubtedly led many lives. If you're excited and want to know more, start digging up Silver Sable and Spider-Man comics. The mysterious life of the Foreigner has definitely intrigued Marvel fans, and perhaps the upcoming days will add on to more of his lore. What predictions do you have about his next mission? Do you think Marvel Cinematic Universe will finally reveal everything about his true identity? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.